Hi everyone, welcome back. Let's write some more Leetcode today. Today we are solving count largest group. So the problem states that we are given an integer n, and each number from 1 to n will be grouped according to the sum of all of its digits. And we want to return the number of groups that have the largest size. So if we look at this example, there are 4 groups with the largest size, which is the sum of 1 includes 1 and 10, the sum of 2 includes 2 and 11, the sum of 3 includes 3 and 12, and the sum of 4 includes 4 and 13. So we return 4 as the result. And in this example, we return 2 because both 1 and 2, which is the sum of 1 and 2, have size 1. And those are the 2 largest ones, so we return 2. So now that we have seen some examples, let's get to how we can solve this problem. So what we can do is make a hash map, and the keys will be the sum of the digits, and the values will be the number of groups with that sum. And then afterwards, we will look for the highest value, which represents the largest number of numbers with that sum. And then we will loop through all the values. And whenever a value is equal to the max value, then we can increment the result by 1. And we'll have a result variable to keep track of that. And then we can return the result in the end. So let's go through this example. So 1 has a sum of 1, 2 has sum of 2, 3 has sum of 3, 4 has sum of 4, 5 has sum of 5, 6 has sum of 6, 7 has sum of 7, 8 has sum of 8, 9 has a sum of 9, and 10 has a sum of 1, so we increment the 1 key. And then 11 has a sum of 2, 12 has a sum of 3, and 13 has a sum of 4. So now we look at all the values and we realize that the max value is 2. So we need to look at how many values in the hash map has a value 2 and increment the result. So 1 has a value 2, 2 has a value 2, 3 has a value 2, and 4 has a value 2. So we can return 4 as the result. And the time complexity would be O of n log n, because it will take n time to loop through each number. And then to figure out the sum of the digits, it will take log n time, because what we will do is we will convert the number into a string, and then we will look at digit by digit, so it's log n time rather than looking through all the numbers from 1 to n. And the space complexity would be O of log n, because the hash map can take up to log n space. So now let's get to the coding part. So first we'll initialize the hash map to a counter. And then we will do for num in range 1 to n plus 1. So we're checking all the numbers and we're figuring out the digit totals. So total will initialize to 0, and for digit in string of num, and now we will add the end of digit to total. And then we would increment the hash map of that total by 1. So that's the total it belongs to. And after checking all numbers, we will find the maximum value, so the max of hash map.values. And then we will initialize result to 0. And then we will look at all the values. If any value is equal to the max value, then we increment result by 1. And then we will return result at the very end. So now we increment result by 1 and return result. See if it works. Okay, perfect. Thank you for watching. Hope this was helpful. If you have any other questions or comments, feel free to leave them down in the comment section. And I hope to see you all again soon.